Going on a vacation as an entrepreneur can trigger a lot of things. It can cause you to feel like you don't have any control. It can cause you to worry about your revenue. And all in all, a lot of entrepreneurs are really, really bad at leaving to go on a holiday. And of course, we can look at the psychological triggers there and we can try to convince you to take some time off, set up an out of office. But it could also be that you are really in this phase where you're like, you know what, Amy, I can't fully let go and I don't want to give up my revenue, but I do want to take a break. So what do I do? How do I make sure that there are still things coming in, money coming in while I'm gone? Hello, and welcome to the Fast Forward Amy show, the show where we lift your life and business with simple strategies. I'm Fast Forward Amy, your host and coach, and I'll bring you a new episode every Tuesday. First and foremost, obviously, the bigger or more processed your business is, the easier this is going to get. But if you're in a phase that you're still doing everything yourself, serving your clients yourself one-on-one, you don't have anything set up digitally, you don't have, for example, if you have products, you don't have a packaging center where they do the packages for you, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. The first step could be that you have a look at a digital product. So maybe you don't have a video training yet. Maybe you don't have a digital product yet. You only have physical products. Maybe you only have a physical service, nothing digital yet. The first thing you could think about is, do I have anything that I could start offering as a digital product? So maybe you always have 5-week programs with clients, and there is this one ebook that you always give them as a resource on top of your guidance. Maybe that could be a perfect first digital product. Why are we looking for a digital product? Because when you are gone on a vacation, we want you to have something that you could be selling that doesn't need you to deliver it. So for example, if you have an ebook, people could be buying it in your shop and getting it delivered to them digitally without you having to do anything. That's our ideal best case situation, is you have a digital product that can get delivered without you having to interfere. This is not the case for everyone. So if you have that or you don't, there are also a couple of other things that we could be doing. So first step of today of how to make money on a vacation is, if you have a digital product, it's going to be the easiest. But it doesn't have to be, because the second thing that we could look at is we could be running a sale while you're on a vacation without you having to do the sale during your vacation. So for example, what I see a lot of beauty salons doing is they say, hey, I'm not home right now. I can't make the packages right now, but the moment I get home, I'm going to make the packages. And they plan in some posts beforehand. They say, hey, these have been the best sellers this summer. Do you want them? I'm making the packages as soon as I get home, so make sure you all place your orders before Sunday. And you plan in the posts, and this can run while you're gone on a vacation. Maybe you are making content on vacation, maybe you're doing absolutely nothing, but this can make it so that the sale runs, for example, at 15% off. And by the time you get back, you already have some revenue that came in and some clients that you can serve from the first moment you're back. Being gone on a vacation doesn't have to mean that your company is doing nothing. You can let everything work for you that you've already built in the months leading up to your vacation. So for example, this could be a vacation sale that you're saying. This could also be, by the way, before you leave. This always works really well as well, because people tend to really interact with something that is a natural sense of urgency. So for example, sometimes I will host a sale while I'm up in the air. I've done this before on a really long flight. I'll be like, hey, I have this program or this product. It could also be a physical product, and I want to offer it to you. I'm going to be on the plane for the next 10 hours, and I'm giving you the chance to buy it at 20% off while I'm in the air. And by the time you land, you weren't able to post about it or sell because you didn't have any Wi-Fi, and by the time you land, you have some sales. So this is something you could give a try and that you could definitely have planned in before you leave, and it could give you those extra sales. This is still on a solopreneur level. Of course, it gets easier if you have a team working for you, then we don't have to plan in everything beforehand. For example, I have someone on my team who can do sales calls for me while I'm not there, selling products that have already been made. So obviously that's also an option. I could plan in a story that says, hey, do you want to book in a sales call to talk about this product or how we can work together, book in your call. And this could all happen while I'm not there and while I'm not touching anything. On top of that, I can automate that through my email. So there's a ton of stuff there. You just kind of have to step out of the way you're already doing things and kind of ask yourself the question, if I only had 1 hour, what would I do to get sales in? And then you can think, okay, what if I had only 5 minutes? What could I do to get sales in? And then you're going to start figuring out that maybe you have some different options than you are utilizing right now, because that's kind of Parkinson's law. The more time you have, the more time you're going to fill up with the work. The less time you have, the more you're going to figure out like, hey, maybe I can do this in a much simpler way. And of course, that leads us to something else that we can do is literally just scheduling in a pitch email. Just like we can schedule in a sale while we're gone or before we leave, we can also schedule in a pitch email or a sequence. For example, I could schedule in a broadcast about goal setting, and I could create a sequence that goes out to everyone who clicked the episode about goal setting and have a 3-day pitch sequence that tells them like, hey, you're interested in goal setting. Do you feel weird about your goals, or are you afraid to set goals? I have this goal setting training. Do you want it? I'm giving you 48 hours to grab it at this deal. Again, we're talking about a sale. Do I always give discounts on everything? No, but you can segment your audience. I'm also not sending it to tens of thousands, I don't know how you say that, of people on my email list. I'm just sending it only to that segment and giving them an exclusive offer. And the more you look at the different ways that you can do stuff like this or give like an Instagram only deal, the more you're going to realize that there are always things you can be selling. And that's actually also something we want to be doing, is the more we grow as business owners. What I've noticed is sometimes you go through seasons. In summer, I'm always full of energy. I want to sell a lot. And then in winter time, I'm usually a little bit more down and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be selling. My energy is not as high. And I've learned to then just rely more on automated things. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the upcoming winter. For example, my brother is getting married in Australia, so I'll be gone. I'll be taking time off. But that doesn't mean that I want to just like bombard my company and say, hey, I don't need any sales. Of course I need sales, because I also have overhead and I have targets I want to reach. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make sure that I have everything set up in an automated funnel with a webinar where I'm selling something that's also evergreen, and I'll be promoting that funnel through ads while I'm gone, and I don't have to do anything for it. Or I'll pre-record podcasts, drop them while I'm gone, have everything planned in, and the podcasts might run to a webinar, and in the webinar I pitch something and I don't have to touch anything. So setting that up before you leave is actually really good. Basically, having a vacation coming up can really help you and kind of also push you to renegotiate with yourself. How are you getting sales and how are you making money? And maybe you are leaving a lot of things on the table that you could be utilizing a lot more, like those evergreen funnels, because people have the time even when you don't have the time. So what have we talked about so far? Set up a digital product. Maybe you still have something lying on your shelf that you could start selling. It's really easy to start selling something. You set up a Shopify, you create one product, you connect it to a payment system, and you install the app Digital Downloads on your Shopify. You put in the ebook in the download thingy, and people can just click and buy your ebook. Maybe if you started doing that today, you could start selling today, because I am certain that you still have stuff lying on your shelves, not selves. You have stuff lying on yourself. That's weird if you're listening to the podcast right now. Thing is, we tend to overcomplicate stuff. We tend to think when we start out, oh, when I write an ebook, the ebook has to be perfect. But it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to contain everything you know. It just needs to fix one problem. When you still have products lying around, you might be thinking, oh, but there's already a new version of this product that came out. Okay, great. Now you have a reason to put up a sale to sell out this stock. You always have to be selling, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be perfectly imperfect. Sales are sales are sales. So digital product, host a sale before, after, or during, and you can automate all of the posts and emails during that time frame. Set up an automated funnel. Those are already 5 things that we can do. We also talked about letting your team service your clients. And last but not least, a really fun idea that you could implement as well is using affiliates. So maybe people who are already customers could be an affiliate for you, and they could promote your stuff for you. They could be promoting your actual products. Or you could also use affiliates to promote your lead magnets. This could be an alternative to running ads is you can say, hey, these clients are already satisfied. They could refer new clients to me. They're going to get a percentage commission and they are going to refer people to me. And if they buy within a 90-day time frame, I'm going to give them a piece of the commission. It doesn't matter if you are a service entrepreneur, if you're a product-based entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you're saying, hey, Amy, I could sell now because I have the audience, but I just don't have time to deliver the product. Okay, so then you deliver the product or the service in 2 months from now. Maybe at the end of the year, I'll sell something in December that will start as a program in February. That's fine. You are the business owner. You choose, you set your boundaries. Just like those people who are saying, hey, do you want some new skincare? Buy it during my vacation and I'll send it after my vacation. They're not saying, I'll call home and make the package and then send it up. They're just really transparent. They say, you get a discount now because you have to wait for the product. So buy it now and I'll send it to you next week. You're the business owner. You call the shots. Make sure that the shots you're calling are definitely bringing in sales, because the sales are the fuel of your business. Without sales, you don't have cash flow and you can't run your business, okay? And it doesn't have to be complicated, like we already talked about. So if you want more tips on how you can grow your business, be it while you're there or not, I have a ton of free resources about this. This could be a training on how you can increase your income with some hacks. Maybe you want to learn how to delegate. I have a couple of ebooks. I have a ton of things to help you out to do this for free, because it is my mission to help you to become financially independent, doing what you love. So if you're thinking, wow, I'm so motivated now to go and sell more, that's exactly what we want. And I'm going to offer a bunch of my resources to you for free through fastforwardamy.com/free resources. So that's fastforwardamy.com/free resources. And in the description of this episode, I've linked it all up as well. Good luck and have a nice summer and make lots of money.